Hello and welcome to the SAP HANA Academy. My name is Dennis Van Kampen, and in this video tutorial series we will discuss what's new with SAP HANA Support Package Stack SPS 10. In this video we will take a look at the new features for SAP HANA administration, and we will focus on the administration of SAP HANA multi-tenant database container. Okay, for those not familiar with the topic of multi-tenant database containers, there is a full playlist in the SAP HANA Academy, 7 videos in total, that cover the whole topic. Concepts, how to create, how to configure, how to connect. They were recorded on SPS 9, but there will be an update for SPS 10 pretty soon. For the rest of this video, I will assume you know what a multi-tenant database container system is and what tenant databases are. A new important feature for MDC with SPS 10 is high isolation. For those who've already watched the video on what's new with SAP HANA SPS 10 security, or the video what's new with platform lifecycle management for SPS 10, you will know that you can configure your tenant database with a dedicated operating system user and group and run the multi-container system in high isolation mode. This allows for hardening of a multi-tenant database container system to make cloud computing more secure. The communication is automatically encrypted with TLS SSL. Here's a print screen of the Lifecycle Manager installer, where you can select the database isolation mode. Low is the default. All database processes run under the same operating system account, the SID ADM user, and high is the new feature. A dedicated Linux user and group will be created for each tenant. And here you see a print screen of the documentation section in the administration guide, where this is all explained in detail, including a procedure to change an MDM system that's already running from low to high isolation, or vice versa, using a Python script convert MDC. Next feature is the integration of MDC with SAP HANA Cockpit. Here we see HANA Cockpit, 100% web tool, cloud enablement as it's called, nothing to install locally on your computer, all you need is a web browser. With SPS 09 you could only administer databases with Cockpit. Now with SPS 10 you can also administer a multi-tenant database system. There's a separate catalog for this, system administration. We got 3 tiles, manage databases, system alerts, and documentation. The manage databases, that's plural, tile shows overall system status. Here we see MDC, that's the SID, 1 host and 4 databases. 1 database is not running and 1 is running with issues. We'll select the tile and the Manage Databases app will open. Here we get a list of databases, status, any alerts, and resource usage. Clicking any of the columns, used memory, CPU usage, or disk usage, and the Performance Monitor app will open for that particular database and for that particular counter. Now, I've already discussed the Performance Monitor app in the What's New video for the SAP HANA Cockpit, so I'm not going to repeat myself here, but it's all pretty intuitive, run simple. From the menu bar below here, you can create a new tenant database, very convenient. In SPS 09 you could do this only using SQL. Now in SPS 10 there's an interface for this. Sign of the times that this interface is available in HANA Cockpit and not HANA Studio. Over time we will probably see this more and more as everything gets cloud enabled. Create tenant database screen, no surprises here. Name and system user password are required, and optionally there's some advanced settings where you can assign the index server to a particular host and or port, or add additional services, and then create tenant database or cancel. When you select a database here in the leftmost column, the menu bar at the bottom is activated. DB3 is a stopped database, so now we can start it, and as it stops we can also delete it. When we select the database name itself, the Manage Services app will open, showing the services, and again select the service and the menu bar is activated. You can start missing services, stop a service, or get rid of the service altogether. Same options as in HANA Studio, as you may have noticed. A toggle here to select databases, and a gear here to select columns. All screens work pretty much the same way. SAP Fiori design, very easy to use. Link to the documentation here. Anyone can do the job. Go back home. System Alerts tile shows high and medium priority alerts. Select it and the Alerts app will open, showing all alerts for the system database and any tenant database. So search bar, past alerts, filters, past occurrences. Now only alerts that identify situations with a potentially system-wide impact are displayed. The system administrator cannot change the configuration for alerts for tenant databases, but it may be helpful to see this in the individual tenant databases, and alerts that expose data in the tenant database, like table names, are not visible in the system database. Going back home, the documentation tile opens the administration guide in the section Multi-Tenant Databases, Getting Started, in a new window. So should you need some more information, you can access it directly from the cockpit. Another new SPS 10 feature concerns the integration of backup with HANA Cockpit. This is discussed in the video What's New for Backup and Recovery. The tile shows the status of the last backup. Select it and the backup catalog will open with the data range from to and the catalog size. You don't get this in Studio. Select the entry for more detailed information. And here you see the status, the type, the size, the prefix, throughput duration, and so on. On the menu bar you can select New Backup, specify your settings, Complete, Incremental Differential, also new in SPS 10, set prefix, provide a comment, and select Backup. And isn't it great, the running backup will display in the tile on the HANA Cockpit. To make a backup of a tenant database, you need to be connected to the HANA Cockpit of that tenant. Recovery is not yet supported. You can use Studio or the command line for this. Next topic, system views. Every multi-tenant database container system has its own sys and sys statistics schemas in which you will find information about that tenant database only. For system level monitoring, there are some additional views available in the system database, the M databases view in the sys schema, and a number of views in the sys databases schema. You can see that here on this picture. M databases gives an overview of all tenant databases in the system, and the views in the sys databases schema aggregate information from the sys and sys statistics schema of all tenant databases in the system. It's only accessible from the system database. Now in SPS 10, some new views have been added to allow system administrators to monitor alerts in tenant databases from the system database, and that's what we actually just looked at when viewing alerts from the HANA Cockpit. Tools such as HANA Cockpit, HANA Studio, or SAP Solution Manager use these views to support system-level monitoring of multiple container systems. It's all SQL, so any homemade script or third-party system can access the same information. Next feature concerns the configuration of the web dispatcher. This process allows HTTP access to a multi-tenant database. Only web access to the system database is active and configured at install time, and when you create a tenant database, web access is not enabled. On the HANA system, there's a process that gets all the incoming HTTP requests and then sends them to the appropriate service. This is the web dispatcher. It's pretty much the same one as found on an SAP NetWeaver system. How to configure the web dispatcher for a tenant database in SPS 09 was a bit complex. Here you see the value for the system property. The print screen is from a tutorial video that I recorded on the topic in the multi-tenant database playlist. You have to figure out what port the index server is running on, and the index server of your tenant, that is. The index server is the actual database engine, which has the application server, the access engine embedded. This configuration has been made much easier in SPS 10. It's now a simple system property for the nameserver.ini file, section public URL, and then the property HTTP URL and one HTTPS URL. And the value is HTTP or HTTPS, then the virtual host name, and then the port 80 plus the instance number. And this can be done with SQL as well, of course, as is the case with any system property setting. Last topic concerns cross-database access. Cross-database access now supports synonyms, So instead of writing select from database name, schema name, table name, you can just do select from synonym. Saves a lot of typing and makes your code much more flexible. Quick recap. New features SAP HANA SPS 10 for multi-tenant database container systems. We looked at hardening, high isolation for tenant databases, and secure internal communication. We looked at integration with HANA Cockpit. System implementation can now be done from the web, alerts, performance, backup. You can even create your tenants. We looked at the simplified setup for the web dispatcher and also simplified code using synonyms. What's new for SAP HANA SPS 10 administration is documented in the SAP HANA What's New guide, with more detailed information, of course, in the administration guide. You can read or download these guides free of charge from the SAP Help portal on help.sap.com. Thank you for watching this SAP HANA Academy video.